Hi everyone out there in Facebook world, Linda Reed-Enever, and welcome back to another Tips Tuesday. Last Tuesday's Tips Tuesday was so much fun, where we spoke about some Facebook myths and some things that you may be doing or not doing on the world of Facebook that might just be affecting your reach. Today's Tips Tuesday is all about creating content and finding ideas for where to create content, especially if you're stuck, especially if you're going, hang on, yeah, content marketing is something, but how the hell do I do this thing? So that is what today's Tip Tuesday is all about. Creating content and being able to find ideas to help you create content. Grab a coffee, grab a drink, whatever you need to do, tune on in. I'm just going to share this through to the business community so that we can get started. I'm loving seeing everyone in. If you're coming in, please say hello. Tell me what you've been up to. Tell me what content you have been creating. If you've been creating your own content, I would love to know what you've been creating, what works, what doesn't work. And I'm going to let you in on a couple of things that I've been playing with, because this week in particular, the last couple of days and weekends, I've delved into the world of TikTok. So I've been playing a little bit there, seeing if my content will relate to a TikTok audience as well. So we are going to get started. Now, I know as a business owner, it can be shocking. Tuesday, it can be hard when you think you're stuck for content. And the gorgeous thing, hey Alfred, how are you? It can be really shocking when you're trying to come up with content and you're stuck, or your ideas are stuck and you're going, or no one wants to listen to that, or the content that you have been sharing is maybe failing, not so much failing, but maybe not working the way that you would like it to work in the world of Facebook. And apologies, my phone I've just targeted up has gone full of notifications. I'd love for anyone else to come in and say hello to me. If you're here, please let me know where you are in your content creation journey. If you haven't created content, and if you're brave enough, tell me what your business is, and we might come up with a couple of content ideas just for you today, because it's about having a bit of fun and networking together and sharing stuff. Okay, content time. Okay, bear with me. Okay, and now I've finished typing, saving that, and sharing messages through to you guys at the same time. We will focus on this one. Now, Tips Tuesday sessions are me looking at the computer some of the time, because I've got multiple notes for you. And one of those particular topics that we talk about today is evergreen content and those sorts of things. So I've got another thing here. I've also got two of my big 100 list ideas, so video content ideas and those sorts of things that we share with our marketing circle members. And I'm going to take some snippets out of those ones. But if you want to continue on the ideas journey, please feel free to do so by taking a look at the marketing circle or the content creation tools course, or one of those ones that'll help you out there. Okay, so when it comes to content creation, the biggest thing that I'm going to suggest to everyone is out there in on brand as much as you possibly can be is better than out there perfectly polished and all of those sorts of better than not out there waiting to be perfectly polished. Your audience want to know who you are. They want to connect with you. Denise, you're just starting out your content journey. Fantastic. You're a virtual assistant. Would you like me? Just put in the comments. Would you like me to come up with some ideas about what it is, and just tell me what type of clients you're looking at? Renee's looking for content ideas. This is great. And Renee's one of my marketing circle members. So Renee, you get access to these big lists already as part of the content there. So you've got the story ideas in the Facebook one, and all sorts of stuff. Hey Emma, how are you? I'm loving you joining me on Lucky Tuesday mornings. This is going to be fun. Okay. So the thing about content is it's normally the knowledge in your head, okay? It's the stuff that comes second nature to you that your people want to connect with. It's the stuff that they want to know. It's the stuff that they want to get in contact with. And it's the stuff that you think is second nature and maybe no one is interested in, no one is boring. So my first step for everyone right now is to grab a pen and paper and start to write down and journal and dot point the things that you come second nature to you, the things that you think people should know about your industry. And they might be the frustrating questions you get from clients all the time. But it's really one of those things about making sure that you write down all of those things, because those things are quite often what your market doesn't know. We do not know what we don't know. Emma, if you want to come up with live ideas, there's a big video list inside the marketing circle there for you as well, to jump in and grab that one. If you want to. For those of you who aren't marketing circle members, I'll pop the link in, you'll find it, and we'll get there for as well. Okay, so the one thing that I want to talk to you about, the content marketing works really well in the world of stories. And I'm going to share with you a couple of story ideas that you could possibly share today on your content. Okay, so people remember stories. They connect to stories. They connect to the journey. Like I walked into the office, I stubbed my toe. Or, I did a post last night around where has February gone? Where is the month going? Because the year's disappeared on me, and that's a little bit of a story. So a story is a great way to connect with your audience. Not what's on your mind today is a great one. So put in what's on my mind. What are you thinking about? What's happening in your world? Is it something your audiences are going to relate to? That's a really good opportunity for you to be able to share share some content and create a story around it. So share a story with people. I went to school drop off this morning, and for me, school drop off this morning meant that it was raining. Why is it always when school drop off, you go to school drop off, it was raining? And for those of you who saw the hair photo during the week, I was actually going to attempt to style that this morning, but there's no way I was going to style that in the rain. And I'm sure pretty much everyone can relate to those sorts of things. Share a blog post expert. If you've been writing blogs and sharing really good content, that blog content there has lots of little snippets in it that you can share socially. You can either turn into a social media graphic, you can tell a little bit more story on it, or you can even share the story about why you wrote that blog post, because once again, people love to connect to that story and those content ideas. So go back, have a look at what was successful in blogs in the past, check your analytics, check your insights, and see what's happening with those things, and take a little bit of a blog excerpt. Now, you can do that in a number of ways. There's two tools that I like to use when I'm doing blog excerpts, and that's Missing Letter, which actually takes the blog excerpts and starts sharing them socially over 12 months for me. I'll pop a link into that one so you can have a look at that one. The other is I also like to use a tool like Lemon 5 where it takes a key statement and we turn that text into video, and it really creates some impact. That video gets used and we use the social programmers then to share that content. Go back in time. Have a laugh at yourself. Use the Wayback Machine. Maybe show what your website looked like when you first started business. Because I can tell you what, mine looked like crap. Go back, have a bit of a laugh. Share where your company's history has come from. Share where you've come from. Share the journey. Share the milestones and the achievements that you have made. We did a go back in time post, I suppose, for BBB the other day where we celebrated our 6th birthday, and it was our 6th year, and that post got lovely engagement and lovely feedback from our members. And I must say, whenever you are creating content, not all content needs to be perfect and polished. Yes, we can create templates, but sometimes your content is just going to be this, a live video, a conversation where things aren't as perfect and polished in the world as it could be, because no one is perfect. No one has it all together. And, you can do it in a perfect post from time to time, and I'm sure people will be fine about it. The other thing that I love to talk about when we're talking about stories is day in the life posts. Why not go behind the scenes and create a day in the life post? Perfect for those videographers out there or those who've got smartphones to mash a whole heap of videos together. And those day in the life posts, I think, work really well on TikTok. I've seen a few of them done now where they've mashed up some photos of what the day looks like. I mashed up a few photos last night. The video I've got there's got 106 something views on it because, it's there. So have a look at from that point of view. You might want to mash up a day in the life post, give a recap, show, mine would start with grabs coffee, goes to computer, checks Facebook group. But you know what I mean? Give them the opportunity. Let them know, morning Annette, how are you? Let them know what your day in your life is and creating that content. And as you go through that day in the life post, you're going to share other things. Share a work-life balance tip. Now, your social media followers need to know that you're a real person because we're talking about social media. This is a real environment. It's not the perfect polished ad components that we're talking about. So share a work-life balance tip and really, get out there and share your knowledge and expertise in that one so that people get to connect with you. Okay, stories are one thing. Conversation is another great topic. So today you would have said, if you want to come pop your things in, I've asked you to pop your details in here and we'll have a chat about some content ideas for your business. Ask your founders about business decisions. So for me at the moment, we're going through my book cover launch and my book, and I'm really torn between this. I'm torn between releasing the blogging for business cards or the book first. And maybe I should go and poll the audience about what I'm going to do with that. Should I launch this or this first? Which one would you want first? Most probably both at once, but it's a bit of a difference. But just have that conversation. Pose a problem and ask for advice. They like to look at things. So what would you do if your readers or one of our readers have had a question? Or what advice would you give to a person struggling with XYZ topic? It's a really good way of starting a conversation. Say thank you. Thank you posts are great. They show that you're grateful. They show that you've got gratitude. It might be that, thank your team. It might be thanking your customers for their support. It might be just a general thank you to those who keep you sane and support your business. Or it might be thank you for a testimonial or a review. So remember to say thank you. I love fill in the blanks. Fill in the blank questionnaires are great. You can post a fill in the blank. You can, get people to fill in the blank, of today you're feeling like, or sum up your week in one word. It really works from that point of view. So you can always tap into that as a content idea. And the other one that I really like to do is share and ask for predictions. Make a prediction about what's going to happen in your business or your industry from there. So, okay, the other component of content when it comes to content ideas that you can really create. So we've talked about stories engage. We've talked about conversation starting, conversation engages. And this is my favorite topic. I always talk about this one is education. Okay. Education comes down to simple things as expert tips. And I'm going to use you for a moment. When asking for your logo files from a graphic designer, make sure you get them in JPEG, EPS, PNG format. Make sure you get them sized for webs. Make sure you get them sized for this. So you might share expert tips. You might share tips like, and I know this one comes into our industry all the time, why do we need an RGB file? And I was listening to something on the radio the other night, and I have to really not call into the ABC radio late at night because it would drive my head crazy if I start doing that. Where they were talking about the difference between RGB and CYMK in relation to print and TV and how those color systems work. But delve in and explain those sorts of things. Denise, who's our virtual assistant here, who's looking at things, she might be able to share expert tips about how to prepare your files when they're coming through to a VA, or how best do you share your files with a virtual assistant when you're working with them. So your expert tips, the stuff that you know, the stuff that is second nature to you, is really important to share when you're creating content, and you can do it via education. Tutorials are another one. It could be teaching how to use your product. It could be teaching how to use it a different way. It could be showing someone a screencast of how to submit details to you or how to do something really, really easy. Have a look at that option. Is there a tutorial that you can teach that will help your audience, especially if they engage with? Those tutorials go well on things like in groups where there are themes like today, which are Tips Tuesday, and all of those sorts of things that will be able to help you. The other one I really do like is correcting a misconception about your industry. People have a preconceived idea about how an industry works, or that's really simple marketing, it doesn't take that long, or I can't understand why that marketer is, or I don't want to pay that hourly rate, or where's the knowledge and expertise coming from? So have a think about it and educate your industry on something that you thought this happened, but this happens. So when I take people behind the scenes of a recording day, I actually show them how much work goes into recording. When we talk about PR, I talk about, PR isn't a set and forget, send one press release and hope it works type campaign. It does take consistency and effort and time to build those relationships. And I think for a lot of business owners, when you see someone get a PR win, you're thinking, oh man, how come they got the PR that I didn't get? And I can tell you what, it's because they've worked for it. They've worked hard for it. They've shared their story. They've shown up. They've turned up. They've shared their story again and again. They've shared their knowledge and their expertise. There is rarely an overnight success when it comes to PR. There's normally a hell of a lot of legwork that's gone behind that campaign. So please, look at it from those points of view. So misconceptions in your industry. Helpful articles. What are people looking for? Then go back before the stage before they come to you. Go to the basics. There isn't really nothing too basic when we're educating our market. Go back to the content that they are looking for before they come from you. And that might be how to do it themselves, okay? And you write the how to do it themselves article. And then you go, but if you're having trouble, please reach out to us and we're happy to help you. Okay, those helpful articles, those helpful tips really come into showing your expertise. They build you as a leader within your field, and they're very good content for you to be able to share. Interview an expert. Have a podcast if you want to, and interview people. Have a conversation with an expert. It can either be a live video like this where you've got two people on a Facebook screen. It could be a YouTube video where you've sat down and interviewed with someone, or it could be a podcast, or it could be an article where you've just sent some questions and answers to people. Okay? The other really cool thing to do is when we're creating content is put all of our top tips or our top blog posts into an ebook. So that education, all those articles that you've written, go to your website and have a look at those popular articles that you've written and pop them together into an ebook. There's a tool called Designer that will put them all together. I'm a little bit more of a control freak and like to control my layout a little bit more. So I tend to go and get those articles and I put them into Canva or Google Docs and design them up in a format that works really, really well for us. The other content that you can share is other people's content. Do not be afraid to share someone else's resource, someone else's tool, or someone else's video. I shared one this morning to BBB in particular about from Sean Cannell, who's someone I admire when it comes to YouTube channels, because he's been doing it longer than me and he can teach me a hell of a lot more about it. But what Sean says is, you know, if you're wanting to be an influencer, you need to be there responding. You need to be responding to questions. You need to turn up. You need to get things out there. So you can't sit there and go, well, hang on, I chucked my video up on YouTube and it doesn't work. And then you've got unanswered comments. So it's about investing the time. Like everything in marketing or influencer marketing, social media marketing, content marketing takes time. So make sure that you get, you know, have those comments, but share other people's content. So get out there, find the experts and leaders in your field, share their content, add a note as to why you think it's great, and then really get in there and share other people's content. It shows that you are staying up to date with your field. It shows that you actually follow people within your field, and it shows that you're prepared to share other people's content, which is what social media is all about, is sharing other people's content and being able to engage with content from that. Do a post series or a video series, just like this one here. So where you might have 5 or 6 posts on the topic. Those similar posts then link together. You link them in your related posts or your related videos. Or if it's a Facebook video series like this or a YouTube video series, you put them into a playlist and then they keep watching, and because people are going, oh, that was good education, I want the next bit, they keep watching. So make sure that if you can, when you're sharing your knowledge and expectation, put a series together. Okay. Now, we move into the world of promotion, because when we're wanting to share our content, there's not only, you know, we need to do some buy my stuff occasionally. We can educate all we like, we can put all the things out there, but make sure that you do actually promote your business. So post photos of your products in use. So if you've got a product or service or whatever you're doing, post a photo of it. You know, we don't particularly want, you know, the image shots with a white background. Like, oh, lovely. But take your, you know, like I do, take the business life planner out, or I might take the 5-minute marketing cards out and show them in use with a cup of coffee. I might do a video that shows them in use. But take your product out and show it out in an environment, out in use, how people can use it. So if you've got an electrical product or something that needs work, show that in use. So, you know, get out there, show the video that says, this is actually how easy it is to use our product. Get out there and show those sorts of things. Future product reviews. So you can also post future product previews. What am I talking about? You can post future products, so the stuff that you're working on. So if you're working on a new product release or new packaging, you might create some buzz by saying, hey, this is a new packaging for XYZ, which one do you like? Or this is our new packaging, what do you think of it? Or you might, you know, do some hints. You might, you know, get really sneaky and just take a corner of a box or something like that and go, guess what this product is? And really move through that area so that you can show future product that you're releasing and take your audience on the journey with you, so that when you do open promotion for that product, yeah, I'm getting tongue-tied this morning. When you do open promotion for that product, it's ready to go and you're able to tap into that market that's already going, oh my God, I can't wait for this to come out, because that's what you're trying to create. A weekly roundup. Now, weekly roundups are really cool. Weekly roundups are a really good way of sharing the must-read articles for the week, and also can promote your major blog posts, or it might be a roundup of your blogs and some other people's blogs, and then getting each other to share it. So a weekly roundup is a good way of doing that. Not so much as about promotion, but just ability to get your posts out there, because you do need to promote your social media posts as well. Post unexpected or creative use. So we're looking for content idea. What's a creative use for your services? So Emma, you know, I'm just popping on the graphic design component here. You know, what's a really creative use for graphic design that maybe someone hasn't thought of, or someone is maybe looking for? You know, from a virtual assistant point of view, what's a creative use of a virtual assistant? You know, Denise, I'm not saying that you want to, you know, promote yourself for doing this, but you know, it might be as a virtual assistant today, I've organized the most crazy event, whatever it is that you're looking at. But have a look at it from there and make sure that you're getting your story out there, and you may be showing a different way to use your product. Be creative. It's really cool. And if someone's using your product or service in a different way, ask them, how are they using it? See if that will connect with them, so that they can get to know, like, and trust, and you can share it and go, oh, I didn't even think about that. Just think about Kmart hacks. go and have a look at Kmart hacks. If you haven't looked at Kmart hacks, it's where people take a product from Kmart, they upcycle it, they add stuff to it, and they make a Kmart hack out of it. And it's a really good, unusual process, and it's, you know, a life of its own now that's been out there. Cross-promote your social networks. This is another good one when it comes to content marketing. So cross-promote your social networks. Share your Twitter profile on your Facebook page. Share your Instagram profile on your Facebook page. I must really did a reasonably good cross-promotion of my networks this morning when it came to being on here live at 10 o'clock this morning. So I posted to Instagram, I then shared to Facebook, I put it out on Twitter as well, and I said I would be live here on my Facebook page at 10 o'clock this morning. So it's cross promotion of the Facebook Live series across the other social networks, inviting people to come along and join me. So just have a look at that and cross promote from there. Okay, there's a couple of other things that we want to have a look at. When we talk about content, we talk about images and infographics that you might be able to share. So you might be able to put in a search for keywords in Google for infographic terms that you might be able to look at, or you can create your own based on stats and tips. Based on stats and tips around how best to work with you. Infographics are great for taking that really boring information and making it accessible to someone to be able to understand and learn and connect and network and do from it. Share random tips. So I like this when you might have tip 1 of 100 or tip 1 of 256, or you might just start with tip 1 and see how many tips you can get out and give them the, you know, tip 201 and put a random tip out there. So tip 101 about working in PR might be about, you know, making sure that you go back to your old releases and seeing what you can revisit and reshare. Caption these photos. I love this. And we're doing this in the Instagram challenge, and we've done it quite a bit. That really weird selfie that you took that you didn't really mean to take, share it. Put it out there and put a caption in and says, what was I thinking? What was I doing? What the heck is going on? Or have a look at, you know, taking a piece of your photo, your product, or, you know, to your team doing something, and get people to caption it. People love to contribute content that way, and it starts conversation and it creates engagement for you as well. Your favorite tips and quotes, as we've said, we can share them as just a text, or we can put them into images. And that is a couple of really good images. But once again, get out, show your products, take photos of it, take images, and share your top tips with you, especially if you're building a personal brand, with you as the face alongside those tips. Okay, we're going to round it out with some video content ideas to help you create your video and share your video out there. Post a presentation. If you've got a presentation that's a SlideShare presentation or a presentation profile, go and, you know, voice over slides or Screencastify, use it, record it, and either put it up as an evergreen webinar or put it up on YouTube or Facebook so people can engage with that story. Not all video has to have you on camera. You can do a day in the life post where you're actually putting a lot of videos. You can have a video testimonial for yourself, for a review from a customer, or from people out there that can engage with you. You can go behind the scenes. So I mentioned before that we're behind the scenes of a recording day, but go behind the scenes, show them what life is actually like. So you might take them into your manufacturing room and show them what the process is like with manufacturing. You might show them how something is put together. You might show them how the print factory works. You might show them the packing, or you might show them a courier delivery coming in, and then you might unbox something, and because unboxing is a great behind the scenes moment. Create a recurring show like we've got here, like Tips Tuesday. Create a recurring opportunity for video where you're going to provide massive amounts of value. You're going to share some amazing tips, and people are going to know to tune into you either weekly, monthly, fortnightly, whenever you choose to turn up, but turn up and make sure that you turn up on that regular basis. Answer your blog comments. Your blog comments. If people have asked you questions on blogs or frequently asked questions, the questions you get asked commonly, go and have a look at your FAQs page, go and have a look at your blog comments, and go, okay, well, I'm going to answer this one in a video. You saw me do that last week. If you go back to my Facebook videos where I went and spoke about what types of Facebook video work best, that was actually from a comment on a YouTube video that Big Walker had done, but I came back and I turned that into video content by doing a live on the different types of Facebook content. So have a look at that opportunity to be able to share that content with yourself. Okay. The great place to start for you to look is your knowledge inside your head. So share your tips, share your how-tos, whether it's videos or those sorts of things. I've got a few more random content ideas that I'm going to put out here as well, just to share with you just some different ideas so you can opportunity to just get some other content. So this is just our random content ideas. We've got a list of over 100. Mashups. Okay, video mashups. Combine multiple unrelated clips into the one video. So they're not only funny, these mashups, but they could be your top tips for January 2020. They could be your top video things, or they could be a bloopers video, which makes everything really, really fun. So you could do a mashup video. That would be a really cool one to do. Time lapse. I love time lapse if it's a workshop or a setup, being able to just show someone some time lapse of what you do. Interesting facts. These can be interesting facts about movies. It can be interesting facts about your industry. I'm just looking at this one here that we've gone. Did you know that Alderaan shouldn't have been blown up, but George Lucas had to stay on budget? So that's a tip from Star Wars, an interesting fact. It creates discussion, and you see if people want to do things from there. Quick fixes are another good one. Do you find you're posting about how to fix something or how to do something within your business or for your clients, or are you telling them how to fix something that might be popping up all the time? Do a quick fix video. Quick fix video, tutorial video, or step-by-step lay it out, and make sure that you archive it, especially if you write it in a group or somewhere. Make sure you archive those steps. Okay, and we're going for one more. What are we going to do? Okay, we talk about bloopers, we talk about infographics. Bust out myths. Okay, you're got a myth. People love myth busting tips. So they love to either prove that the myth is correct, or they love to prove that you're incorrect in busting that myth. So have a look at busting those myths. Okay guys, I'm going to wrap out Tips Tuesday. It's just about to get storming here in Bendigo, so I'm not sure how much longer we're going to have internet for, because that's what it's like here in the regional areas. So I'm going to say thank you for joining me for another Tips Tuesday. If you like the tips, make sure that you hit the little bell so you're notified when I go live, particularly here on Facebook and YouTube. Hit the bell once again to subscribe, because these replays will be popped up onto YouTube too. And I will see you next week for another Tips Tuesday session. For those of you still watching or watching the replay, pop your top content tip, or what are you going to create? What content are you going to create today? Pop it in the comments, and let's get creating, and happy content creating this week. Have a great week, guys. Bye.